Roloff family reunites at Amy and Chris see adorable pics. It was a Little People Big World Christmas family reunion based on the latest updates making the rounds on social media. Several branches of the Roloff family traveled to Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's house to bring tidings and good cheer. And the pics speak for themselves. Little People Big World. TLC show cancelled after 25 seasons. Even though Little People Big World fans suspected it as soon as Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff announced that they were quitting after season 25, it took some time for official word to come down the pipe that the long-running program was over. The way a recent insider put it, Matt Roloff was the only family member who still wanted to film more Little People Big World seasons. For the rest of the family, they are glad that it is finally over, and that they no longer need to structure their lives around a TLC filming schedule. LPBW, Roloff family reunites at Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's home for the holidays. Based on the latest Little People Big World updates making the rounds, several branches of the Roloff family traveled to Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's home for a Roloff family reunion for the Christmas holiday. Several of the cousins got to spend time together and reconnect. Amy Roloff even shared a pic with all of the Roloff wives, including Tori Roloff, Isabel Roloff, and Audrey Roloff. So, it's clear that they have been able to put their family squabbles aside for the sake of reuniting for the Christmas holiday, and many Little People Big World fans love to see it. Little People Big World. Zach Roloff still feuding with Matt Roloff? What's interesting about this recent Roloff family reunion for the holidays is that it was at Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's house. Matt Roloff and Karen Chandler were not in any of the pics making the rounds. So it looks like the beef between Zach Roloff and Matt Roloff is still ongoing. However, with all of the Roloff wives and cousins coming together to celebrate this special holiday, that is still a good sign moving forward. Even if all of the fences have not been mended quite yet, it certainly seems like there is some progress being made with some of them. And that's all anyone can ask for at the end of the day. Many Little People Big World fans are glad to see several branches of the Roloff family put their differences aside for the sake of the children, and for the sake of letting Amy spend time with her grandchildren on this special holiday. Little People Big World's Matt Roloff and fiancée Karen Chandler split, end engagement. Karen and I have decided to part ways and end our engagement. Life's a continued journey and this is the right step for us at this time. Roloff shared. Matt Roloff announced that his engagement to fiancée Karen Chandler has ended. The Little People Big World star shared, Karen and I have decided to part ways and end our engagement. Life's a continued journey and this is the right step for us at this time. The news comes more than 2 years after the pair announced their engagement. Matt Roloff and Karen Chandler are going their separate ways more than 2 years after announcing their engagement. The Little People Big World patriarch, 63, announced the couple's decision to end their engagement in an Instagram post on July 22nd. "Hi everyone, I have some tough news to share," he wrote. "Karen and I have decided to part ways and end our engagement. Life's a continued journey and this is the right step for us at this time. We remain amicable and will always appreciate the many wonderful memories we have shared," he continued. "Your support means the world to me, and I'm committed to moving forward with positivity and trust in the path ahead. Much love to all." The pair first met when Chandler became an employee of Roloff Farms. They began dating in 2017, 1 year after Roloff and his former wife Amy Roloff divorced. Over the years, Roloff was very candid about his love for Chandler on Little People Big World, sharing during the show's 20th season that his goal was to eventually get married to her. Chandler echoed the same sentiments at the time, saying, "I'm here for the long haul. I think we're all trying to overcome whatever stuff we have because we're going to be together," Chandler said at the time. "It's always going to probably be a little bit awkward no matter what we do, but it's getting better and we just roll with the punches." Roloff hasn't been shy about his praise for Chandler either, calling her his rock in a 2021 Instagram post. "She knows how to take some random structure I build and make it come alive with energy and soul. #living your best life," he wrote. The two eventually moved in together, with Roloff calling the endeavor in an August 2022 LPBW episode, "A whole new major chapter in life." A few months later, in April 2023, Roloff exclusively told People that the two lovebirds got engaged. After 6 wonderful years together, I asked Karen to marry me and she said yes. Roloff told People. Our plan is to enjoy our engagement, and we are looking forward to a simple but elegant wedding in 2024. A month later, he shared an update on Instagram, saying that he's making TV shows and mostly just enjoying my engagement and time with Karen Chandler. In an additional comment on the post, Roloff jokingly told his fans, "You all kept telling me to put a ring on her," adding, "So I did. Ringed it." Roloff shares 4 children with ex-Amy: Zach Roloff 34, Molly Roloff 30, Jeremy Roloff 34 and Jacob 28. More than 5 years after she and Matt finalized their divorce in April 2016, Amy married Chris Marek in August 2021. She and Matt, plus Chris and Karen, maintain a friendly relationship. In an April 2024 episode of Little People, Big World, Karen opened up about creating boundaries with Roloff's family. "Blending families, that's a tough one," Karen told cameras at the time. "Some go better than others. In my case, I've learned that boundaries are healthy in second relationships. I don't have any regrets about the relationship that existed and getting close to the kids, but I learned a valuable lesson that maybe sometimes less is more, so I'm treading lightly." Despite their tumultuous relationship, Karen added that she believed, "Everyone is happy for us overall." Jacob Roloff reveals how he's rebuilt his life 10 years after Little People, Big World exit and abuse allegations. Years after leaving the TLC series, he alleged he was molested by a former producer. Jacob Roloff is reflecting on how his life has evolved since he left his family's reality show Little People, Big World. The former TLC star, 28, took to Instagram to acknowledge contradictions in his world, namely living on his family's farm despite separating himself from the series. He discussed the subject in a lengthy caption alongside photos out in the pasture, which feature his wife, Isabel Rock, and their 3-year-old son Mateo Tomas. "This spring marks 10 years since I got my money from the show I was on for over 10 years of my life. I was 18 and finally had the agency to not sign the contract, so I didn't and promptly left home mostly due to disgust for the show and reality TV in general," Roloff wrote in his post shared on Sunday, March 30th. "I used that money to build my world back again with my wife, rather than capitalize on it for all it was worth, for better or worse." Roloff previously addressed his departure from LPBW in an Instagram post from July 2016. "I get comments on here all the time about how people miss me on the show, or telling me I should do a few more episodes with the family. I'm posting this to say that that will never happen," he wrote at the time. "I am with my family and I love them. I'm just here to say you'll never see that from me on TV again." He also referenced his time and salary on the show in a May 2022 post on X. "People don't realize I was paid roughly $6 per hour to be filmed for my whole childhood," he wrote on the social media platform. "I'm still called rich derisively, lol. I wish I went scorched earth, but I value family. I wish I kept filming, but I value my principles and my soul. Life is complicated." In December 2020, Roloff opened up more about his experience on LPBW and alleged that he was molested by Chris Cardamone, a former producer on the show, from 2007 to 2010. "It is often much easier to think about things than it is to talk about them. And so this disclosure has been delayed, but through that delay I have found the fortitude and words," Jacob wrote on Instagram at the time. "As a child, after what I realize now was a long grooming process, I was molested by an executive field producer for Little People Big World, Chris Cardamone. I choose to disclose it now as it remains a traumatic memory that needs to be exorcised of any further power over my development," Jacob continued in his post. "I am certain that this is a positive moment for me, and another step toward a brighter future." At the time, Cardamone did not respond to People's request for comment, and TLC told People in a statement, "TLC was just informed about an alleged encounter that occurred years ago involving a third party connected to the production of Little People, Big World. We are saddened and troubled by this very serious allegation, and TLC will work cooperatively with the authorities." In his recent Instagram post, Roloff voiced his gratitude for his adult life on his family's farm alongside his wife and son. "Growing things and stewarding the land," he wrote, adding that he was raising my own kiddo doing the same things I used to do on the farm. He noted that the past 4 years have been insightful both materially and retrospectively. Roloff said he grappled with learning about farming systems and equipment operation as well as his own growing style, and he continued to reflect on what it means to live on the property after leaving the series. What is the farm without a TV crew? He mused in the caption, "What can the farm be without TV?" His dream is that the farm can encourage a more localized community space instead of so heavily relying on out-of-town tourism, wrote Roloff. It has been fun meeting people from all over the world, but I'd also love to meet some more of our neighbors here in Oregon, he continued. What I want to do for as long as I am able is to emphasize and deepen a reform back to community-based agritourism, to contribute positively socially by growing edible food for the community and being an intermittent space for community gathering, creating useful things and being a useful space. He concluded by underscoring his appreciation for the opportunity to steward to farm. Farmland is sacred now, Roloff said. Always learning and growing. I can only hope we have this farm for another generation. For all the latest Little People Big World news, come back again to TV shows Ace for more.